Yes, Tom, I was. But I haven't. Good morning and welcome to episode 29 of the Blue Fern Yarn podcast. My name is Shannon and I am the face behind Blue Fern Yarns. I hand dye yarn and I design some patterns and basically all sorts of things to do with yarn, really. Those who have been here before will notice that I am in a different location. So rather than being in my office, I decided to sit on my sofa in the lounge. So please do come and join me. There's plenty of space, lots of comfy chairs, loads of cosy cushions. We've got some throws and all sorts of things. So please do come and join me. Yeah, Tom is out at the moment. He's not at work. He has, what is he doing today? Shows I really should listen to him more, should I? Don't tell him I don't listen. Anyway, so he is out doing something. Oh my god, I am like the worst fiance ever. No, can't remember what he's doing. Anyway, he's gone out. So I've got the house to myself and I figured, why not sit in my lounge? Hopefully the lighting is quite good here. It's not too bright. Well, it's a bright day, but it's not really sunny. So hopefully all the lighting will be fine and we'll show off basically what I want to show you. Anyway, so I've been waffling for nearly 2 minutes. Yes, anyway, welcome to any of you new viewers. Thank you so much for joining me, and all of you previous subscribers, thank you again for joining me again. It's always a lot of fun recording a podcast. I didn't do one last week because I try to do them every other week, and I have already this year fallen off the wagon of that one. So I'm going to try and get back on it. Record every 2 weeks. No real reason, just the fact that I didn't feel like I had much I could show you. I have been quite busily working away on a secret design. Yes, it's to go with my advent this year, and oh my god, I wish I could show you. I really do, but I can't. Not yet. Wait until December and you'll see it. I may do a sneak peek on here in like late November, but yeah, for the time being, can't show you. If there are any people watching who would be interested in testing quite a large pattern for me, please do get in touch. It's not quite ready yet, but will be hopefully by the end of February, and I'll get it tech edited and then we'll be sending it out to a few of my trusty testers. And if there's anyone new, even if you are a beginner knitter, please do get in touch. It's a simple pattern, but it's quite effective. I think it is anyway. That's probably being quite biased because it's my pattern, but yeah, anyway. Oh my god, this is going to be a rambly episode. It's going to be a lot longer than I intended. Anyway, so who am I? I'm Shannon. I am the dyer. Sorry, I thought there was somebody coming up my drive. They're not, that's fine. That's going to be really distracting. That's probably why I've never recorded here before. Okay, well, we're going to see. We're going to keep going and see how we get on. If there are interruptions, there are interruptions. Anyway, so, yes, my name's Shannon. I am the face behind Blue Fern Yarns, as I think I said already. I have where can you find me basically is obviously on YouTube. You've probably found me already. I have my own Instagram, Ravelry and Facebook, all under the name of Blue Fern Yarns. And I have my own website, which is bluefernyarns.co.uk, where you can find my hand-dyed yarn, higher knitting needles and crochet hooks and other notions, other handmade notions made by myself, and some project bags which are made by my mum. Sorry if I keep looking out there, it's people that look like they're going to walk up my drive. I'm right at the end of a close, so it's really weird when you do see people. But anyway, I'll carry on. I'm trying not to get distracted. Sorry. Yep, so then you can find some handmade project bags on my website. I can't remember if I've given you the website address. It's bluefernyarns.co.uk. So today is Wednesday the 26th of January. I'm going to try and get this podcast to upload either later today or very early tomorrow morning, because I've just got a lot to do today. And today is my Blue Ferns Day. So those, again, who do know, I do work a 4-day week, and Wednesday is my Blue Fern Day, which means basically I get to have a full day, weekday, dedicated to Blue Fern Yarns. I have already got loads of skeins cooking. I have already wound up some minis. I'm ready for the shop update. I have wound some 100-gram skeins that were dyed to order. Okay, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound like there's a lot, but it feels like a lot. I feel like I've done a lot already. I've got all the admin and stuff like that, but I'm going to leave that until a bit later when I can actually sit down and stop, really. But anyway, I really wanted to record this. I thought the lighting was great. Tom was out, so he's not going to annoy me, because normally he's sort of sat just on the cushion you can just about see here. But yeah, he's out, so I thought it would be a good time to record, and the lighting, I think, is going to be quite good. So we'll see. What have we got today? So today I have got... It is chaos. I have got a finished object. 1, 2, 3... 2 current whips. 2 really old whips. And I'm hoping you guys will hold me accountable so I actually get them done. A new idea. A new project I want to start. And I've already picked the yarn out. And I know roughly what I'm doing. And I've got a little bit of shop update news as well. Just a reminder, I do have a continuous make along that I run. It is available on Ravelry and Instagram. And on Ravelry there is a thread where you can just post your pictures and comments about your finished objects. And then also on Instagram, I'll pop it on the screen, there is a hashtag which is BlueFernYarnsFOs. Basically, the only rule is to use 50% or more of the Blue Fern Yarns yarn, just to enter and show off your beautiful projects. It's really nice just to see other people using my yarns, seeing them in different patterns, because unfortunately I do work an almost full-time job. I kind of do full-time hours over the 4 days as opposed to 5 days. So they can be quite long days. But yeah, so I do work a full-time job. I do also run Blue Fern Yarns. I also design patterns. And I try and have a social life, which all of that just keeps me busy. So being able to just sit here on my sofa with you guys is really nice for an hour or so, if that. I'll try and keep it less than an hour, but no promises today. So feel free to enter in your finished objects. What I will do is once a quarter is draw out random names, and what you get is you get some yarny goodies. So you either get hand-dyed yarn from me, or you get other yarny goodies from other dyers, or project bags, or basically something. I'll either put together a pack, or you can pick a skein from my shop, or 2, depending on what it is that you want. It's not a problem, but happy to have a conversation about it as well. And I just realised I got my Boss mug, which is Blue Fern Day, Blue Fern Yarns Day. It's the only time I can use it. I'm just drinking Yorkshire tea. It is my favourite. This mug is massive. Like, compare it to my head. I don't know why that's what I go to, but compare it to my head, it's quite a massive mug. I do like a bit of a bucket of tea. I get through quite a few a day. But anyway. Okay. So, yeah. On to finished objects. I have got a pair of socks. So, it is a pair. I'm only going to show you one though. I didn't bring the blockers down, which was really silly of me because it was really silly. But these are my silver birch socks. And it is just beautiful. It's the same on the other side. And then obviously you've got this one as well. Yeah, I absolutely love this. It's my own hand-dyed yarn. There's a couple of DK skeins available in the shop at the moment, but if you do want a skein in 4-ply so you can make some socks like these or any of my other yarn bases, please feel free to pop through to my website and then go to the dyed to order section, and then you'll be able to select the yarn base that you want and pop the order through. Just make sure you put the yarn name that you want in the comments when you've placed your order, because otherwise I will not know what you want and I'll have to get in touch with you, which could delay things a little bit further. But woo, love these socks. So I'm just going to get really close. So you can see that you've got a mixture of like greys and very dark cool brown. And you've got some speckles in there as well, so you can see it just about here. And you've got more speckles all the way through, and it just creates this gorgeous, it's almost, I tried to work it out, and I think I said this before, it's like a spiral. It's not like a spiral, it is a spiral. So it's a spiral, it's almost micro striping, but it's not quite because it doesn't stripe all the way around. But I just think it is gorgeous. I love the effect of this. I think it worked really well. If I hold that long enough, do you think that'll be my YouTube cover photo? Give it a little smile. Oh God, it's started again already, isn't it? Anyway, so yes, I have a pair of finished socks. And what I'm doing this year with my socks is I'm making them up. I'm making the socks throughout the year. I don't know how many I'll get done because I feel like I've kind of lost my sock mojo a bit at the moment, which sounds really weird because I'm showing you these. But yeah, so lost a bit of my sock mojo. Last year I counted up and I made 31 pairs of socks last year. It's quite a few. How I made 31 pairs of socks and everything else that I made as well, I haven't got a clue, but I made 31 pairs. And quite a lot of them went straight into my sock drawer. So I could wear them, and I do wear them quite regularly. To the point where they are kind of pushing out my old shop bought socks. I do wear those occasionally, just so I can wear them and get them worn through, so then I can just wear hand knitted socks all day, every day. But this year what I'm doing is I'm keeping them to one side, and what I'm doing is I'm putting them in a box, and then I think I've decided 1st of December I'm going to open up this box and start wearing some of these. So that is going to be really, really lovely. I can't wait to start wearing some of these. Just, oh, I love it. I love it so much. It's so cool. Anyway, so that is the finished object that I've got for this week. So, not much. Then I have got a whip that I've been carrying on with. I've kind of stopped. I've done a bit. So I've shown this before. I've got the image here. It's only printed in black and white. So it's the Rosewater Tea. And it is by Black Cat Knitting Company. And her name is Alana Penk. So I don't know whether you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. It's only printed in black and white, but I think she's done her one in like a, I think it's a light coloured, and then it's got like pink all the way through it, and you've got like all these darker pink speckles and things like that, which I think you can just about see the speckles on the top. But anyway, it's lovely. It is really nice pattern. Fairly easy to understand. There was one point that I just didn't quite get, but I spoke to my mum, and then when I spoke to her it made complete sense. And I won't go through the yarn too much because I did that last time, but this is where I've got to. I did up to the stitch marker, so I think you can see the stitch marker just there. So I have done from there down since I last spoke to you guys. So again, not done much, and I do love it. I really, really love it. I love the way the yarn's working out. I think it is so pretty. But the reason I've paused on it is I don't wear brown. I haven't got any brown clothing, so I don't know what convinced me to make this top in this brown yarn. I don't know. And I don't know whether I would like go and pick it out if it's in my wardrobe. Does that make sense? So it's in the pause box at the moment because I love it, and I really, really do, and I'm so proud of myself that I've done helical knitting all the way through it so far. But yeah, I'm not sure. It is gorgeous and it is stunning. Just look at that. Oh, I do love it. And then when I hold it up like this, I'm like, yeah, it looks nice. But do you know what I mean? Do you guys have a colour that you've just started knitting something in because it is gorgeous, or crochet, and then go, hang on a minute, I've got none of that colour in my wardrobe. I never normally go to pick that up and wear it. So yeah, so it's in my bag, which was a Christmas present from my partner Tom, and it is by the Fibre Fox, or he got it from the Fibre Fox. I saw it on an Instagram post, found the link and sent it to Tom. So definitely think sending links to Tom works. So yeah, it's not Christmassy, but it is wintry, so I still feel like because it is freezing out there, I can get away with it for now. When it comes to actual spring, that bag might have to change to another bag, but that's fine. That's why we have more than one, isn't it? Anyway, so I've got another whip, and it's one that I've only started this week, because those of you who've been here before know that I've been crocheting a blanket out of my palette sets, and I've already done the January and February on there, and I'm not doing the March until they're all dyed up. I have dyed up a couple of March, but not yet. But anyway, so yeah, I was just desperate to do some more crochet. I don't know why. I have ordered some yarn. It's not arrived yet. I have ordered the Giddy Yarns Middle Earth minis for January, and I've also ordered February, even though I have not seen the January ones yet. And the reason I'm buying them is because my brother has said year on year that he wants a blanket of some sort. And I asked him this year, does it have to be hand dyed or does it have to be like acrylic? He says, yeah, whatever, it doesn't matter, I just want one for my sofa. And I was like, okay. So I am getting the enjoyment of buying the yarn, making the item, and he will get the item. And because it's like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, I think the first 3 months are based on The Hobbit, and the next 9 months are based on The Lord of the Rings. He will really appreciate that, because that's the kind of thing that he's into. And yeah, I thought that would be really, really good. So I'm waiting for them. But because they haven't arrived yet, and I was desperate to cast on another crochet blanket, because, you know, you can never have too many blankets, I have cast one on. It's just in this basket, which I think you've seen before. I think you can get them from IKEA, Dunelm, all sorts of places. I think this one came from my mum, and it was from IKEA. Yeah, you can see the label just there. There we go. But yeah, I've got the bigger basket, and I got that from Dunelm, but I know you can get that from IKEA and Dunelm. But anyway, and what I've done is I went through my DK stash. So this is normally just my DK stash. Not a big lot, because I mainly use sock yarn, just because that's what I prefer. Anyway, so there is a bit of DK in there. There are some that's come out of here because they're not going to go in this blanket. I just picked a few colours, and there's a lot of grey in there, and it's going to be striped. I have not woven in my ends, so do not judge me. But yes, it's only a little lap gown one. It is going to have a border as well, so it'll make it slightly wider. And I don't know, my luck, that will be my YouTube thing. So hopefully you can see everything on there. If I hold it back, there we go. So yeah, they're just scraps. They're ones that I've dyed, and they've just been sat in my stash for ages. I used a bit of them, but didn't use the rest for whatever reason. This grey is actually I crocheted a jumper like couple of years ago, and it was sat in my wardrobe, and I never wore it because the neck was just too high. I kept feeling like I was being choked, and like even if I turned it round the other way, the back was still too high as well. I just think it didn't have any shaping or anything like that in it. It was just a simple round and round crochet one, and that's before I did knitting as well. And I loved it. It flew off the hook. Because I was really enjoying the pattern and loving the fact that it would be my first garment that I ever made myself. But yeah, just it wasn't working, and it was sat there, it was beautiful, and I was just like, it's just such a waste. I don't want it in my wardrobe anymore. So I thought, I'm going to rip it back, which was a nightmare. Because I'd sewn in all the ends, I'd blocked it, it was just, oh my gosh. Anyway, so yeah, I've undone all the grey. So I'm using the grey as the sort of middle stripe, sort of to tone it down a little bit, because otherwise it's going to be a bit too bright. And yeah, so it's kind of, this is just this was a 20 gram skein from one of my seasonal boxes that I used to do. I think I called it Raincoat. I think it was from the autumn set. This grey was just a one-off that I'd done. It's a mix between concrete and silver fern. It's not quite one and it's not quite the other. This one was some yarn that I dyed ages ago, and I might have to redo it because I am loving the way it's worked up. It's beautiful. You've got blues, purples, pinks in there, and reds. And it's called Red Galaxy. Then I have got, so this again was from another one of my seasonal boxes, and it has cat hair on it. I have a feeling Bennett has been in the pot, but anyway, in the basket. And now I'm molting too. Oh my gosh, it's so bad, isn't it? So this is another one of the colours from my seasonal boxes that I used to do. This was from spring in 2020, I think. Must have been spring 2020. Anyway, yeah, and it's called Crocus. So you've got little bits of purple, you've got little bits of yellow in there. Yeah, so that should be quite fun to crochet. Then it goes into another one that was from that same seasonal box, and this was Forget Me Not. And again, it's got a bit more yellow in there, so it kind of, hopefully it will almost fade but have the grey stripes in between, but not fade perfectly because, you know, it goes purple to blue straight away. Anyway, so yeah, that should be quite good. And then I have got a few scraps of balls that I have left over from when I was making my Nan's Whitmore cardigan. I have got quite a few, but because the balls are all different sizes, the stripes are all going to be different sizes too. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying the process of making it all, really. So it's just, and like you can see, I've got loads of grey. Some of it's in balls, some of it's in cakes. Why, I don't know. Just obviously is. But yeah, so it's really nice to be able to use up some of my scraps, and also, I don't want to call it scraps, some of my stash, and have something beautiful at the end of it. So that will be lovely. Can't wait. And yes, so then I have got two whips that I am going to show you. They have been quite long-standing whips, because I don't know. I honestly, I have no idea. So I'm going to start off with this one. So this gorgeous project bag is from, I'm going to show you, oh, they're both the same size. Anyway, the same on both sides. I thought they were slightly different. But this flower, oh my gosh, can you see that? Oh, I love that. So this is from Shelley, who is made in Aberfala, and it is, she makes some gorgeous, gorgeous project bags. And this was very, very kindly gifted to me, and it was just, oh, love it. Yeah, and if you've been here for a long, long time, you will know what's already in this bag. But if not, I'm going to show you. So, I have got, I'll show you the yarn first, if I can. In fact, I'm already sort of showing you. So here's the yarn. It is beautiful. And the yarn is from Somerset Yarns. Yeah, Somerset Yarns, and she's on Etsy, and I'll put her details below. And the colourway, so this colourway is called Arizona, and it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, and it is 425 metres per 100 grams. And then the other colour that I've got to go with it is just a neon mini. So although I love looking at neons, I don't wear neon. Socks you can totally get away with, but these are not for me. I kind of already told you what it is. But anyway, so these are the two that go together. The mini actually came from a set from Botanical Yarn. I got 100 gram skein, and then it came with 5 neon 10 gram minis. But I cannot remember the name of the colourway. It's like Party in My Garden or Pride or something like that. So yeah, they're the two colours, and I have finished and have had finished for a while one sock, but I've not sewn in my ends, which is weird because I normally do the ends on the sock as I've done the sock. So once I've done the sock, then I do the ends and then I start the next sock. But for some reason I didn't. Anyway, so this is a sock that's really badly creased because I haven't got my blockers down here with me. It doesn't matter, it's for Tom, so the sock doesn't fit on the blockers that I've got. So let me see if I do it that way. It might be able to see it a little bit. I don't know. We're gonna carry on struggling. Why not? So yeah, so I've seen this really cool effect on a cuff, where you've got like this just one line of a solid colour, and then you join your like variegated yarn. And I think I'm copying, in fact I know I'm copying. I got it from Emma Potter at Potter and Bloom podcast, and she's on Instagram. Yeah. Anyway, so I got that from her, and I just loved the effect it had on the socks that she was making. I was like, I'm going to have to try that. So I've tried it. I just haven't sewn in my ends. And then obviously I say obviously, it's probably not obvious, but it is my own pattern. They were going to be called the Square Dance socks because they are just squares, and I think it was it's like summer last year that I was making them, and I think I told Tom that he was getting them, and he was just dancing that he was getting another pair of socks. He was going like, "Yay!" So he's got one with no ends sewn in, and I really love this detail. And I can't remember where I saw this. I think I saw this on a pair of like shop bought socks where you just have 2 stripes just before the toe, and I loved it. And I was like, I'm gonna give that a go as well. So that was a lot of fun. So yeah, he's got one sock, and I had started the other one. So I'd done the cuff, again with the same sort of technique, and I think I'd worked probably to about here-ish, and I put them down, and then I never picked them up again, and I don't know why. I just put them down. Yeah, anyway, I put them down, haven't picked them up again, and Tom asked me the other day, when are you still going to make those neon socks for me? Yes, Tom, I was, but I haven't. So at some point, he will have another sock. Now, I'm showing you guys, because I want you guys to hold me accountable to actually get this sock done. It's quite difficult when you've lost your sock mojo, but hopefully it will come back, and I will get it done, and Tom will have another pair of socks. Although I'm a little bit annoyed with him, because he put his hand-dyed socks in the wash, and now they're all faded. They're still quite bright, but they're faded bright, if that makes sense. They're not as bright as they were. It's a pain in the bum, isn't he? Anyway, and then I've got one more project that I'd like to show you. It's a long-standing whip. It's another design. I have all these ideas for designs, and then I shoot off with it, and I do what I want, and then I have to finish it. And it's the finishing it part that I have the problem with. I don't know why, but I picked this one up, and I know why I was stuck with this one. So I'm going to show you the project bag. So this is one made by my mum, and it's just got this gorgeous print on it, just absolutely stunning. I love all the trees on there. I think it's so beautiful. So again, Miss Maddie Lou, on Instagram. She isn't making bags at the moment because of, if you joined us for the last episode, she talked a little bit about her accident that she had, and the fact that she's not got as much mobility, and she's finding it really difficult to sort of cut the fabric and things like that. Once it's all cut, she can sew it, but she's really struggling with that at the moment. But hopefully she is on the mend, and hopefully will be fine sooner rather than later. And yeah, so anyway, so the yarn that I'm using is a yarn that when I got it, I was so excited. So it is this yak yarn. So it's my yak base, and it is 70% superwash merino, 20% yak, 10% nylon. And this is undyed, so this is the colour it starts out at. And it is beautiful, it is absolutely stunning. But my nails almost match it. That's pretty good, isn't it? Not intended, just happened. So yeah, so then you've got, that is what it looks like when it's undyed. And then I created a collection of 8 colours of yak, and I have shown them off on this podcast so many times, so please feel free to look back and have a look. But my first colour that I dyed on it was my Wine O'Clock colourway, and it is not far off what I'm wearing at the moment. So yeah, this is Wine O'Clock, and I've actually got a skein of Wine O'Clock on platinum. So you've got Wine O'Clock on the platinum base, which is this top one here, and then you've got the Wine O'Clock on yak, so it creates this really deep, rich colour. It is beautiful, it's stunning. I just love it. So I knew immediately that those two had to go together and become something beautiful, but I couldn't decide what. And I knew that I had different ideas. Like I said, I've got, I don't know where my notebook is, so it's all the way over there. So my notebook's over there, and it's got drawings and ideas for designs and things like that, because I would love to have more time knitting to be able to do them. But I don't, so I can't. But I will at some point get there. I will, I promise. And this is the initial part of the design that I'm doing. So it is an asymmetrical curved triangle, which is great because it just wraps around you really nicely. You've got plain stocking stitch just here at the beginning. Then it goes into this slit stitch detail. And obviously, because it's not blocked, it's not showing it to its best, but it is just, oh, love it. And then here, you've got a little bit of cable work, which gives you that tiny bit of definition. Hopefully you can see that. Which, first time I've ever done anything cabley, like proper cables, with a cable needle and everything. And I love it. I really love it. I don't know why I haven't finished it. I don't know. I know I did all of that bit, that section here, in one night. Oh, you've got some yarn overs just there as well. Yeah, all of this bit in one night. Why I put it down and didn't pick it up again, I don't know. But I am very much going to pick it up again. I'm going to try and finish it, and then that will need tech editing and so on and so forth. And testing and all sorts of things. So there is that one. But yeah, I'm going to finish them this year. The socks and that this year are going to be finished. Going to be finished. I promise. You've heard it here first. I am going to finish them. I have obviously got the other shawl that I did and I posted off. So I'm going to shift over here and try and put a picture up here for you. It was made out of my Nectarine colourway and also a one of a kind colourway, and they were perfect as a bit of a fade. I've decided on the yarn. I didn't bring it down, otherwise I would show you that one, but I decided on the yarn, and yeah, I hope to actually start that. I might try and finish at least one of these before I start the next design. I've already written it down, I just need to adjust it ever so slightly to make the numbers work, and then that will yeah, be ready for the usual tech editing, testing, blah blah blah, all of that stuff. Yes, there's only one more thing I want to sort of share with you, because I love these colours. So it's a project that's not started yet, but I know exactly what it is. It is, again, it's a new design, it's a blanket design, because do I want to say it on here? I'm pretty sure she doesn't watch this. In fact, I know, I'm like 90% sure she doesn't watch this. So I'm going to say it here anyway. So part of this is what happened last weekend. So last weekend I went to see Wicked in London with my friend Demi, and honestly it was so much fun. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed just having the day with her. Yeah, it was just really, really nice. Such good fun. Really nice to do something normal, which was great. And then we went to the theatre and obviously had the few hours there, and then came out, had some dinner, and came home. And oh, it was just so nice, and it was lovely. Wicked was just brilliant. I loved it. To the point where I would love to go and see it again. But I think I'm going to leave it a little while before I go and see it again so soon. And yeah, so we were on our way home and it was cold. And we actually got a coach down to London rather than getting the train, because there were train works going on. So there was like a bus service or something like that. So we thought, oh, we'll get the coach, because the coach station is in Victoria in London, in the UK, for those that may not know. And it was like an 8-minute walk away from the theatre, if that. I don't even think it took 8 minutes, but according to Google it says 8 minutes. And we were like, well, that would be really stupid if we don't do that. The journey was about 10 minutes longer than the train would have been if the trains were running. So we were like, yeah, let's just do that. It was it was brilliant. So we got the coach home and it was cold. And I had my 8-foot-long shawl, the painting honeycombs one. I'll pop a picture up. It is massive, and I love it. It was brilliant. It kept me very, very warm throughout the day. And then we kind of both cuddled underneath it on the coach home. And at the end of just before we got to Norwich, because we both sort of slept on the coach home because it was a long day. Demi was saying about how much she loved it and she loved how soft it was. She just really, really liked it, basically. And I was sat there going, I now know that I want to make something for her. She is so knit-worthy. She is so appreciative of anything handmade. I wanted to make her socks, but I didn't know the size of her foot. So I didn't want to make them and them to be too big or too small, because she wouldn't wear them, and it just, to me, that seems like a bit of a pointless gift. And I was going to make a shawl, but she doesn't like too much texture. So I was like, well, that goes some of the ideas that I was going to do anyway. So, all right. And she wants it like a rectangular shawl, which I can find quite boring after a little while. So I don't always want to do that. And then because we were using the shawl as a blanket, I had the idea, why not make a blanket for her? So I'm going to make a blanket, only a small little lapgan blanket. And I've got the yarn picked out and it's in this project bag. It's all wound up, ready to go. So this project bag is from Craft House Magic, Ellie. She has some amazing, it's the same on both sides. She has some amazing project bags that she makes, and they are, I love them because they're all squishy. I love them. Anyway, that is her logo just there. And you've got a couple of quite big pockets in there as well. So I think this is her medium. Is this small or medium? Can't remember what size this is, but anyway, love it. And it's very much always in rotation, this bag. Anyway, so the colours, I'll only get you some of them out. So a lot of the colours are ones that are scraps because I've used them in different projects and things like that. Apart from this one's 100 grams. So I've weighed up the yarn and I've got similar ball sizes. That's a cake, but anyway, similar amounts to go either side. So it's going to be my not ball blanket, but edited, because she wants it quite smooth. So I was going to do the stocking stitch, and I might throw a teeny bit of lace in there, not too much because she doesn't like all of that, but something. So we've got these greys, so they are 3, although this one looks very similar to that, but in real, hopefully, hang on. hopefully you can see that this one's ever so slightly different. This one's actually a little bit darker than what it's coming out on the screen. So we've got 3 greys, and then there's another 2 balls that go that side as well. So we've got these. And then in between, I'm going to stripe this gorgeous pinky colour. So this is Vintage Rose, and it is very much a demi colour. So it's almost like the colour of my wall, actually. And she always comments on my walls. Whenever she comes around, I'm like, Demi, you've been here a million times. You know what my walls look like. But she comments every time. So I figure those are very much her colours. She has stone walls in her house, but she has a grey. She's very much a grey house, basically. And cream carpets and stone walls for her house. Anyway, so I know that those will go. And again, it's going to be another design, isn't it, really? So yeah, that's another design I want to do. But those colours, and I'm going to do it for her birthday, because we don't do Christmas gifts. But I have got her birthday gifts in the past and things. So I think that that would be really, really lovely. But yeah, so that is all my projects, intended projects I can show you. I can't show you the other one, and it's sort of behind the camera, so I keep looking at it. But I will show you later in the year for that one. And if you do order my advent for this year, then you'll get the pattern for free. And yeah, so that's pretty much everything. I am going to talk a little bit about my shop and updates and stuff like that. So if you do not want to stay up for this bit, I will not be offended at all. Thank you so much for joining me for all my yarny chit chat. There was quite a bit to show. But thank you, and take care. So those that are staying and want to know what's going on with my shop and updates and things like that, very small chat about my advents. Yes, I have planned them all already. They will be up for pre-order in mid-March. I haven't got an exact date, but it will be middle March. Do you know what? I'm not going to go through all the themes and stuff like that at the moment, but I have planned it all. I have sort of designed the kind of colours that I want. I just haven't tested them all yet. But I'm very, very excited about this one. It will be a fade, and it is what I'm calling, I don't know if anyone else calls it this or not, but I'm calling it a circular fade, because it will fade all the way around, meaning you could start anywhere in the whole circle and it would fade all the way around. Shop update news. The next shop update is actually tomorrow, which is Thursday the 27th of January at 7 PM GMT, and I have got quite a bit going in the shop. I have got some of these coral minis. The listing will be changed as ready to ship, because they are all ready now. Previously they just needed twisting, and I hadn't done that yet. I hadn't got to it, but yep. So there will be coral minis. There is a restock of the January palette minis, so I will pop a picture up so you can see where the inspiration came from. But these are the minis that went with them. I'm not sure the lights quite. I think we've got a bit of shadow now because the sun's come out. But yeah, so they're not far off the representation of the colours, so that's not too bad. Oh, there we go. That's probably about right. So the January palette sets are going in the shop. There is a limited number because these are dyed and ready to ship. I've had quite a few people ask me about the re-dye of the February palette sets. They are coming, but it will be the next shop update after tomorrow, because I haven't quite finished dyeing all of them yet, and again they will be a ready to ship listing. You'll also be able to get tomorrow is the March pre-order for the palette sets. Again, I'll pop the picture up on the screen. Now that I've figured that out, I feel really fancy saying I'll pop it on the screen just in here somewhere. Oh, love it. Not that you really needed to know that. But anyway, just go with it. So yes, so this is the January set. March palette sets will go up as a pre-order. They are not limited on numbers because it is a pre-order, and I will dye the number that is available. And if I have any left from the ones that I've dyed and shipped and things like that, then they will go up for as a ready to ship listing. Please make sure you read your listings. It does say at the bottom of every one whether it's ready to ship or whether it is a pre-order. If it's pre-order, it will say a date in there that it will go out, but I do quite often send them out a lot earlier than what it says because I have them ready. But yeah, the deadline's more time will be needed, especially when I am starting to dye up all the advents. But anyway, so there's that. And then also we have, I love this set, I really, really do. So we have these Love Muffin minis. Again, I'm going to put a couple of pictures up on the screen here. So these are my Love Muffin mini skeins. I will also be doing 100 gram skeins. I've had a couple of people ask me for the 100 grams if possible. I will be, but again, they're not going to be available until my shop update early February, which also coincides with the Cambridge Yarn Festival. It's a virtual event that goes on from the 7th of February through to the 10th of February. And I will be having a little bit of an Instagram live for the event on the 8th, so please do come and join me and just wave and say hello. That would be lovely. But the minis will be up. They are down as a pre-order because there is a extra little goodie that is going in the sets for them, and it hasn't quite arrived yet. So although I have the yarn ready, I'm just waiting for the little extra goodie that's going to go out with all of these. And they all have different names. I'm thinking, can I remember them? So this one is Wine O'Clock. And it is beautiful. I love this. I love them all, to be fair. I really should stop saying, I love this one, I love this one. I love them all. This is Love. Spelt that way as well. And you cannot say it any other way, but you have to say it that way. This is Lobster, or You're My Lobster. Then we've got this one, which is called Love Note. And it's just a variegated, gorgeous skein. So you've got 3 solids and 3 variegated. This is called, I think this one's A Touch Of, or just, no, sorry, this one's called Just a Touch. And you've got some very delicate speckles all the way through that. I'm not sure they're coming up very well. They are very, very delicate speckles. Oh my gosh, I was doing so well, and I cannot remember the name of this one, but there's this one with some bolder speckles all the way through. You get 6 20-gram minis per set. So that is, can I do math really, really quickly? I don't think I can. So it's 510 grams? No, 510 meters, sorry. 510 meters, so it's 120 grams. And then you get a secret goodie that's not going to be announced, but it will come out in your orders. And yeah, so these, oh, I just love these. These were so much fun to create. And I had this idea, and I walked up to Tom. So I work from home most of the time at the moment because of my job, and I know that we're all due to go back to the offices soon, but quite often I wake up early, I start my job, and yeah, I tend to wake Tom up, and I go to him like, oh my God, I had this idea. Because I have my best ideas happen at 4 o'clock in the morning when I've woken up randomly and gone, oh, that would be good. And I don't know if I've dreamt them or I just have really random ideas. So then, and I don't wake Tom up at night, but I wake him up in the morning. And I'm like, oh, what about this? What about this? What about this? And sometimes he says, right, calm down. Do you think you can get all of this done? And I'm like, yes. No. And yeah, basically I went up to him and I called him my love muffin, and he burst out laughing. We don't have like little sweet names for each other. No, we don't. Mainly because if we do, we just laugh at each other. If he calls me love, I'm like, love, what do you want? That's just the way we work. Anyway, so I called him Love Muffin because Valentine's is coming up and I was trying to think of something to do for Valentine's, and he was just like, oh my God, he burst out laughing. And I was like, oh my God, I have thought of my Valentine's collections, Love Muffins. And I found an amazing cake maker who is 125 Cakes. I will double check them. I'll put all the links in the down bar below. And she makes amazing cakes. And they taste fantastic. They look amazing. They look like a little bit of art. And I was just sat there going, I don't want to eat them because I don't want to destroy how beautiful they look. But when I ate them, I was like, oh my God, I've got to eat more. So I did eat the cakes between us. But yeah, so Love Muffin set is coming out tomorrow. And I will be dyeing up the 100-gram skeins when I get to it. If you do want one beforehand and you remember the names, I will pop all the names down below as well. You can put them through the dye to order section, and they will be shipped as soon as they are available. I did also mention that I was taking part in Cambridge Yarn Festival, which is a virtual event. I have also got the Yorkshire Yarn Festival at the end of February, which again is another virtual event. And I've also got my first in-person show this year will be, my second in total, will be the East Anglian Yarn Festival at the end of March. Tickets are now available, and they're there to secure your sort of space, and I believe they are timed entries, just to sort of ease them all throughout the weekend. So then it's not just a mad rush at 9 AM on a Saturday. It might not be 9 AM, it might be 10 AM on a Saturday morning and then have nothing the rest of the weekend. There have been a lot of tickets sold already, so if you are wanting one, please do pop over to their website and grab one. Again, I'll put the link below for you. And yeah, I think that's everything. That last little bit was a bit scatty, but hopefully not too bad. We'll see. Yeah, I think that is everything. It was lovely to speak to you guys again. I always feel so happy talking to you guys, and I don't know why I don't record every 2 weeks, because I'm always enjoying it when I do. Anyway, that has been about an hour. I think I'm about to get cut off in any second now. So I'm just going to wrap this up and say thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you next time. Bye!